Now let's explore some of the powerful functionality that VideoIPath has related to monitoring. In an SD2110 environment, monitoring is critical as you no longer have point-to-point connections, so you're able to trace those across a drawing. You really need a tool to gather all of that data and present it in a way for engineers to be able to chase problems in a fast, efficient manner. For us, that's partly done in our inspect application, where we can search for different devices in our topology. So let me search for CCU number 1. And then I'm able to explore a couple of different elements related to this. This is partly related to the physical devices that are on the system. And then we're able to explore all of the different services that CCU has connected. So here is a list of every single connection that this CCU has on a particular output. Then I'm able to inspect that on our topology. So we can see highlighted both the main and the backup path of this service of everywhere it is going. So from down here where the CCUs are grouped, into the main switch, also into the backup switch in purple, into our audio leaf, and then over to our artist intercom system. Not only are we able to monitor it from this perspective, but also when we're looking at it from a particular service point of view, certain information can be useful for engineers. So if I open this service up in a new view, I'm then able to see every single step that is involved in that connection. So the CCU number 1 goes into our media switch on Ethernet port 1, leaves that on port number 30. But sometimes you want to understand what the source is actually transmitting onto the network. And that's where in an IP environment, the SDP becomes highly important. And within VideoIPath, we're very quickly able to find the SDP associated with that source so that we can monitor it and check that the parameters are exactly what we are seeing. An alternative way to monitor services is using the Connect Studio application. So clicking on there, this brings up a variety of different information. If we want to search for a particular CCU to monitor that same audio, we also know that this is a connection that we're trying to monitor. I'm then able to bring this into the inspect application. And you'll notice that it's been added to the services that have already monitored. So I'm able to monitor both my camera CCU 5 and also my intercom from CCU 1 within the same view. So if you're starting to fault find a more complex problem that is impacting multiple services, you can display those different bits of information. The inspect application can also present other information about the environment. So if I remove all of these sources, I can then also display key information about the system. I can look at end devices and the node alarm. So I can see that my CCUs have currently got an amber warning, most likely because we don't have any cameras connected. We're also able to monitor bandwidth related information. And this is particularly important when you're managing multiple different flows across multiple different uplinks. In this example, as you can see, there's some bandwidth restrictions or bandwidth warnings related to some of the audio workflows we have here. We're also able to highlight devices that are currently in maintenance. You may have disabled them temporarily whilst you replace something, power them off to avoid the whole system thinking that there is an issue. We also have the ability to monitor PTP within the environment, quickly giving you a very clean overview of how the system is from a system lock perspective, and also enabling you to fault find should there be any issues. I hope that gives you a good introduction into some of the advanced monitoring capabilities within the platform, leveraging both the Inspect and the Connect Studio applications.